What if LeVar Ball's putting pressure on his son? Is it the worst thing in the world?
Well, this is, I don't think it's the worst thing in the world. And there was a moment from yesterday's interview that stuck out to me. And I asked him to pull it. It was when he was talking about when they were little kids and he would talk about how good his sons were. If we could play it real quick.
I have 3 sons that are, I've been saying the same thing all the time since they was babies. I used to tell people, hey, you want to play against the best 10-year-old in the world? He's right in the backyard. And people would laugh. Because they don't want to believe that the best player is in Chino Hills in the backyard.
Okay, so that's the perspective, to me, that colors everything he says now. When he had a 7-year-old, a 4-year-old, and a 2-year-old, he said, he made the decision, I am dedicating my life to the longest of long shots. I am going to develop my 3 boys into basketball savants.
Yeah.
And now fast forward 12 years, he's been proven right. He's got a kid that's going to go first or second in the draft, another kid that's got a full scholarship, and another kid that's got a full scholarship and is the #1 player in his class as well. So if I were to say to you, what was less likely? At 10, that Lonzo Ball was going to become the #1 pick of the draft, or at 19, that Lonzo Ball is going to be better than Steph Curry, the longer shot already paid off. And so it is very hard in those spots when a guy has consistently made long shot bets and been proven correct to then say, now's the time to dial it back. I was hosting for Skip. Chris and I were in for Skip and Shannon the morning that he said the Steph Curry stuff. And in the moment, I sunk my shoulders. And I was like, man, this is just, it's not fair to your kid.
Right.
Like, this is unfair. He's now got more of a target on his back. But I get why he feels that way. He feels that way because I've been right about my boys every step of the way. And the people that took it further, I thought you were great with him. But some people who I think don't know the history were talking about this is bad parenting. This is, man, Lonzo Ball, if there was a Pulitzer for parenting, he gets it. He's got 3 boys, all with scholarships, all from his tutelage. This is maybe a little bit of an overstep, but oversteps is what got them to this place.
Dirk Nowitzki's I said top 50, 60 player.
Listen, that's a nice trick that I do as well. Like when I'm trying to take a shot at Kobe, I'm like, listen, he's a top 8 player. You can't call me a hater because I'm saying this. I do the same thing. You can't say the guy who has scored the 6th most points is the 60th greatest player.
Yes, I can. World B. Free scored a lot of points.
Oh, really? I don't think he's in the top 30.
So give me so where do you place him historically?
I think he is without question one of the 20 greatest players ever.
Time out. So let me take a deep breath.
Take a deep breath.
I'm going to pass out.
Uh-huh.
All right, so give me the players. I'm looking at your list.
We can put Colin, he has a league MVP, a finals MVP. For some reason, you don't count it. A finals MVP. And the object of the game is ultimately scoring the basketball. And he's done that more than every player in the league but 5 guys.
Okay, so your top 20 all time, Jordan, LeBron, Magic, looks a lot like mine. Kareem, Russell, Wilt, Duncan, Kobe, Bird, West, very similar to mine.
Oscar, Shaq, Akeem, Moses.
Oh, I thought Moses was the prophet. Okay, Moses Malone, Julius Erving.
Dirk Nowitzki.
Okay, so time out.
Yeah.
So Kevin Garnett is below Dirk Nowitzki.
Yeah.
I know you think the game is all about scoring.
No, defense matters. And
Kevin Garnett was all defense 9 times, second team 3. So for 80% of his career, the league said he is the best defensive player at his position. No, he's not. He's second best. Dirk, goose egg, bagel on that.
I get that. Listen, defense matters.
Yeah.
This idea, though, that it's a 50-50 split, we know it's not true. If it were true, Tony Allen's a future Hall of Famer, and so has Ben Wallace. So let's stop pretending when we're evaluating players it's half offense, half defense. Steve Nash won 2 MVPs while being the single worst defensive player in the sport.
Kyrie's a bad defensive player.
Right. So it's like a 75-25 when you're really evaluating players, and we'll get to that in the MVP in a minute. But the Dirk, you use against him the fact that he had an unblockable shot. You're like, oh, he did this fadeaway. He did it because it was effective. He's a 7-footer who's fading away so you can't block it. Was Kareem skyhook finesse? Would you have rather he tucked his shoulder and hit people? No, because it worked.
By the way, Kareem was an all-defensive guy. Probably 10, look it up right now. Goma Rain Man. I'm going to go 11 times Kareem first-team all-defense.
I bet you're
Dirk,
right.
0.
Okay, Colin.
He was a defensive liability.
Okay, first of all, no, there's almost no one that's 7 feet tall that can be a defensive liability unless you're Enes Kanter because of the length and the girth. But that's not the point. The reason I have him 16th and not 6th, because offensively, 6th, is because he was not a great defender. But if we're talking about and people can say Garnett should be ahead of him, but he's one of the 20 best players ever. Garnett, I love Garnett. I love him. I'm not knocking him at all. But he couldn't get his team out of the first round forever. Dirk got his team as a 1 seed. He won the MVP. I understand the finals were more about LeBron's meltdown. I get that. But Dirk was still the best player on a championship team. If we're listing guys who in the history of the league have won an MVP, have won a finals MVP, and have scored anywhere close to what Dirk scored, it's the all-time greats.
He is a complete finesse player. Dwayne Wade, you have beneath him. Dwayne Wade has, first of all, Dwayne Wade's physical nature has changed the series. People draft guards and say, is he the next? Nobody drafts anybody and says, in fact, because of Durant, people don't even draft saying, are you the next Dirk? We've got a better Dirk. It's named Durant.
Okay, there's 2 points there because you're right. If I'm saying, who do you want at the best of their best, Wade or Dirk, it'd be Wade. But because Wade was such a physical player, he broke down. He had 10 great years, 2 more good ones, and then it's done. Dirk's going to play 20, man, at a high level. The finesse has maybe helped him stay healthy. And Durant, you're right, Durant is like Dirk. But unlike Dirk, Durant can't stay healthy. The health matters, the longevity matters.
It does.
He's a great player, man. 60.
Kareem-
You got him. You got him behind Adrian Dantley. I'm just going to lay out facts, okay? Fact is, LeBron is universally regarded as the best player in the world.
Yes.
Another fact, when it comes to MVP, of the candidates, the guy whose team is most likely to win the championship usually has an edge. Right now, there's 4 candidates: LeBron, Harden, Russ, and Kawhi. Vegas says of those 4 teams, the Cavs are the overwhelming most likely to win the title.
Second fact.
So he already should be the leader. So then the burden of proof is on those 3 other guys. So let's just go one by one real quick here. LeBron versus Harden. LeBron is shooting 10% better from the field. LeBron is shooting nearly 4% better from 3. LeBron's team is 4 points better when he's on the court defensively. Harden's team is 4 points worse when he's on the court defensively. And then, in my opinion, the nail in James Harden's coffin for MVP is what is the single worst thing you can do with the basketball?
Turn it over.
Turn it over. James Harden, if he doesn't play another game this year, has the 6th most turnovers for a season in league history. He already has the most turnovers in 35 years by anyone other than James Harden. And the record, which has stood, George McGinnis, 422, Harden is pacing for 475. He's going to obliterate a 35-year-old record. So Harden, bye. Now Russ. You know how much I love Russ.
Yeah.
You know, I watch you and I get angry. It frustrates me. All of a sudden, Reggie Jackson is a case against Russ. But whatever, that was opinion.
By the way, Kanye Westbrook is funny.
It's funny, but you know what they have in common? They're both amazing. But that was opinion. Let me get back to this. Russ has LeBron in all the counting stats: points, rebounds, assists. Let's talk about efficiency, and then we'll get to other things. 57 players in the league shooting the ball at least 13 times a game. LeBron has the highest field goal percentage. Russ, of the 57, is 54th. 23 players shooting at least 6 threes a game. Russ is 22nd in percentage, ahead of only Robert Covington, who my guess is most of the audience does not know. We have not had an MVP on a team win fewer than 50 games in 35 years. His team's not going to win 50 games. And remember that turnover record that Harden's going to break? Russ is going to break it as well as the 2nd most turnovers in league history. Let's go ahead.
Let's go to Kawhi.
Kawhi. All right, so Kawhi. Oh, what about Kawhi? Well, let's talk about Kawhi Leonard for a moment. He and LeBron average the same points. LeBron averages more rebounds and way more assists. LeBron in the league is 4th in assists. Kawhi is 54th in assists, tied with Monte Ellis. So there's that. But Kawhi's defense. Well, let's talk about Kawhi's defense for a moment. The Spurs defense gets 9 points per 100 possessions better when Kawhi is off the court. When Kawhi's on the court, they have a very good defense. When Kawhi's off the court, they have the best defense by a mile. How is that possible? He's the two-time defensive player of the year. Well, as it turns out, when you take a bigger offensive workload, your defense struggles. And then the final point and the best one, the difference between Kawhi being on the court and off the court, Spurs what they outscore opponents by. 1.4 points is the difference. Kawhi on and Kawhi off. LeBron on and off. 15.1. More than 10 times the impact on court, off court. Those are the three guys. There is not a case to be made for any of them versus LeBron. And oh yeah, by the way, everyone knows he's the best player. And oh yeah, by the way, of the four teams, his team's the one most likely to win the title. This is silly. We got to stop it. We got to stop trying to find reasons to not give the best player in the world on the team that's going to win the title championship. That last part was opinion. Sorry.